Welcome back to Friendly Differences 2.0. And today I will be chatting it up with Monday Night Mars. Our friend Dre Empath, she is unable to be with us today and she will not be with us next week, but we have Monday Night Mars here with us today and we are going to get into the weeds about a lot of things because there are a lot of things going on in the world today and it's called current events. So Monday Night Mars, welcome. Glad you're able to be with us today.
Thank you so very much for having me again. It's kind of my debut here, with the podcasting game. So, I'm gonna try to bring the pain as only I can.
Okay, well, we were doing some little talking backstage, so to speak, and we have a couple of things that we want to talk about. So get ready to get pissed off, to either get really pissed off at me or him or whatever, or you may clap and pat us on the back. I don't know. So from some of the stuff that we were talking about, where do you want to go first?
Man, I really think that we should jump into what's the main story right now. The Israeli and the Palestinian war, how it's affecting the news, how it's affecting us, why we should care, why we shouldn't care.
Okay, so you want to start off on why we should and why we shouldn't? You want me to start off on why we should and why we shouldn't, or?
If I start off, matter of fact, I'll start off because
okay, all right.
I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for it, and personally, I don't care because again, my views are my views. Okay. Another day, another war, wouldn't you say? And you kind of saw this building for years, a lot of years. Again, my mother is. Again, I laugh because I hear her words. She always says, free Palestine, free Palestine. I never really understood what she meant by that. But again, as I did more research and I understood why, they're people of color, basically. And I understand why everybody would want to say, hey, we should support them and all of this other stuff. Here's my thing. I'm not going over there to fight with them. I don't support the war. I'm not going to say I don't care about what's going on because, again, there are children getting killed. There are adults getting killed in front of their kids. There's a lot of that those horrible things going on. At the end of the day, though, I just find it so funny how the news just reports on it. But when you look into the inner cities, crime is still an issue, right? Gas prices are still high, right? Your tax dollars are paying for these wars. I don't know if you guys knew that, but your tax dollars are helping fund these wars. You're not seeing anything back except the gruesome images on TV. So it's not about whether we should or shouldn't care. Again, because people are going to care. Obviously, we care about the children. Obviously, we're going to care about the children. But at the end of the day, we have so much going on in this country every day. And I just feel like that those things are never talked about. We're never going to sit here and talk about those things. But when a war breaks out, oh, yeah, we got to go support that. Oh, absolutely. But I can't support myself, right? Or you can't support yourself, or you basically living paycheck to paycheck. It just blows my mind. It really does.
Well, having said that, I'm going to piggyback off of you. As one of my friends sent me a text, I'm just going to come out and say the word. She said, in her own words, Palestinians
Come on, don't be scared.
Is the nigger word for the Middle East. Wow. And I can't support Israel because I don't like what they do to Black Jews. And Israel even has admitted that they were doing that underhand Tuskegee crap, giving birth control to Palestinians.
Right.
And, the way they treat Ethiopians, I mean, just the way the Israelis treat Black people, period. And the fact that the United States, I don't care what administration you're in, whether it's Republican or Democrat, the United States has been kissing Israeli butt for years. And I'm sorry, I think that Benjamin,
Tell me
not,
how you
not
really feel, Simon.
that Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever his name is one of the most corrupt leaders.
Absolutely.
And he's right up there with Kim Jong and Putin and Trump, and I mean, he is evil.
Absolutely.
So am I for Palestine? Not necessarily,
but I'm not against them either.
But I'm not against them either. But I am against people who allow British, and listen, the British are wrapped in here too. Mm-hmm. Palestine, the land that Israel took was theirs. Yeah. And the British came in and they talked to the Israelis and say, well, hey, you can do this, and the next thing you know, they're at war and they stole their land. I mean, this is what it is. And all Palestine's been doing all this time is fighting to get their land back. Right. So just like, here in the United States, we fighting to get our land back. The indigenous people are fighting to get their land back. Right. But it is true. It's like every time there's a war, the United States got to say, hey, we'll send this money over. But meanwhile, our own veterans that are coming back from these wars that you send these people over to, you're not even taking care of them. We have access to some of the best health care in this country, but the only people who seem to have it are people who are up on Capitol Hill. Meanwhile, our veterans are living in the street, and then people are passing them saying, well, go get a job, or you're crazy, or if they have a mental breakdown, the cops are coming, shooting them, killing them, whatever. We have problems in this country where our money needs to stay here. And I'm sorry, for the Ukraine, for Taiwan, for Israel, for any other country, y'all go to Britain. Ask them to help. Ask somebody else to help, because here at home, we need to feed our own people. And that's including the migrants that are coming over here. Pack a lunch, because I'm tired of feeding y'all too.
Listen, I can remember when I was in college, and this was right when Trump got into office. And, we don't talk about that guy too much, but when he was in the office, I don't know if you remember, it was this whole thing where they were trying to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Not the actual capital, but they tried to make it the capital. And that was one of the biggest things. And I feel like that's where a lot of this stuff, it started way back then. And I'm not going to blame Trump or anything. I'm not doing any of that. But I'm just saying, like, this has been brewing for years. If you follow
for years and years and years and years and years,
centuries. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, the fact that it happened, yes, we should be shocked that it happened. But again, if you've been following along, right? If you've been watching your news, if you've been reading, which we know most of the people don't, right? you know that this has been brewing. And so when it first started, I think it was about a week or two ago, maybe. I was like, wow, this is about 6-7 years too late from initially when the problem started. And as it continues to go on, I just read, Joe Biden, Broadway Joe, is going to send $2 billion in aid, right? Cool. So once again, I just want people to know, like, this is where your money is going. It may be to help the Palestinians, but again, how much help is going on when they're still getting killed, when they're still going to be getting killed? You know what I'm saying? They're not like, money isn't going to change anything, and I just feel like the news, man, they do so bad with the report. The mainstream media, let's call it for what it is. The mainstream media sucks. Okay, it sucks, and we're gonna sit here and say, oh well, Trump. The mainstream media sucked with Trump, with Biden, with Obama, with Bush, and I'm talking about the first Bush, and I wasn't even around for that. Okay, so my thing is, you got to understand that the news is going to report what they want you to know. Hey, I'm sorry to tell you that, but they're going to do that. And I think it's our jobs. I think it's our jobs as people to comprehend. Reading is fundamental, ladies and gentlemen. Reading is fundamental. And people was all off of their phones and social media for just 1 minute. and crack open a book, I guarantee you'll be way better off than listening to, oh, well, this is going on and that's going on. No, you got to read and comprehend. And everything that the news is telling you, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but everything that the news tells me ain't true. Okay? So that's one thing with this war that we have to understand. With the Ukraine, same thing. They're not going to tell you the whole story. They don't want us to know the whole story. And I don't know how that can be conspiracy when people have been saying this crap for years. Years. But it's made to be a conspiracy because, again, we're just sitting around thinking, we're on our soapboxes just, no, some things are true. Some things aren't, but some things are as well. So,
okay. All right. I just want to take a little time out here that up in the upper corner, you can click on your chat and you can. Okay. So, all right. So, let's go down the news lane, the news road. Okay. Because,
go ahead.
Because you're right. I mean, you have to be smart enough to decipher what is true and what isn't. And whether you're listening to CNN, MSNBC, Fox, your local news. I mean, even if you're listening to the news in your town from that public station, whatever, you have to be able to decipher. And I'm going to say something. I'm going to get a lot of Fox News watchers just totally pissed off.
Come on, bring it.
I think that they are, people on that side want to say that liberals are sheep, but I think the biggest flock that has been running have been the people who are following Fox News. And I'm just going to come out and say it. I think that there's a stupidity there, because these people have, they may be the most watched news, whatever, but they have lied hand over hand, and CNN is right up there with them. The fact that you can have a whole group of people sit up here and look at January 6th and think that they were just these people walking quietly into the Capitol, single file. We all saw that, right? I mean, I had someone who literally 11 months after it happened, and we were talking about it, I said, did you not see and that's the only thing that they saw, because that's the only thing that they watch. Meanwhile, the entire world is watching what is going on. And now the chickens are coming home to roost, and these people are going to jail for years and years and years.
Right.
So, it's like, seriously, so when I watch the news, I tend to watch MSN and NBC, but I also turn on Fox. I turn on CNN.
Right.
I turn on BBC, because I want to hear what everybody's saying. I want to hear what everybody's saying. And then I go back, because there are things that MSNBC has said. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I got to rewind that.
I don't, whatever. Yeah. But I do know who I do know is just out and out lying.
Absolutely.
So you have to be the adult in the room and understand and see for yourself, because there are a lot of people out there who have been just totally taken in by Fox News. And I think it's sad. I really, really do, because Fox News has created a lot of anarchy in this country, whether or not people want to admit it or not.
Well, let me get my mental push-ups going, because again, I'm a piss. If you're gonna piss people off, I'm gonna piss people off. Listen, I'm gonna say this: Fox News, Fox in general, has always been what you known it to be. A bunch of garbage. Okay. I used to work at a hospital in Statesboro, Georgia, and I can tell you one station that they played on every TV in this hospital. It wasn't CNN. It wasn't NBC. It wasn't even ABC. Wasn't even getting no playtime. You know who's getting a lot of playtime now? Fox News. And just look at some of the morons you have on Fox News. Just listen to them. It only takes 2 seconds. Just listen to them. Mm-hmm. And again, growing up, like I told you behind the scenes, growing up, my mother, ABC till she dies. I'm pretty sure she got the ABC streaming app right now. me personally, I've always been an NBC kind of guy. You know, I didn't like Al Roker. I didn't even know Al Roker was fat. But, you know, I had to go back and be like, man, he was fat. But
oh boy,
I appreciate what you said, because first of all, in order to watch the news, in order to know the news, you got to turn the news on, people. Hello, listen to me again. You got to watch the news. If we poll people right now and say, how many people watch news? I guarantee you it's going to be less than 10%, because nobody's going to sit here and listen to it.
I don't know. I mean, because that 10%, that other 90% who are listening, I think that a lot of people who do truly watch what they consider news are watching Fox.
Well,
I think the 10% are the ones who I think the 10% are the ones who are deciphering and trying to weed through the weeds and what's true and what's not. So
listen, I'm gonna say people in my age bracket, I'm 27. So people in my age bracket, they're not watching news. And if they are, they're getting all of their news from social media, which again, I agree with. You know, social media is news. But at the end of the day, you know, that fake news gimmick that was going on for a whole bunch of years, that's still true, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not going to change. All of the news isn't going to be true. But again, Fox News damn sure ain't true.
Okay, so a lot of people are getting their news from social media, and I find that
how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it to a point, because especially when you have some things that are going on in Florida, and you have Ron DeSantis trying to erase Black people, and you have all these people on TikTok and social media who are coming in and they are saying, well, hold on, this happened. You know, so it's like, you know, we are getting history. So, you know, and I find that social media tends to be probably truer than what's on MSNBC and some of these other places, because people have lived it. I mean, this is stuff that has happened to people, you know. So
I think that, first of all, mainstream news media, first of all, the newspaper is dead. So, I mean, the newspaper's dead. So no one's going to their local store and paying 25 to 50 cents for the New York Post.
Right.
You know, we all have our phones. And one thing about me, like I said, I went to college for journalism, graduated. I learned a lot about news. I learned about news during the Vietnam War. I learned about news. Like Oprah. Oprah was the queen of news. You know, not news necessarily, but her shows were dominated on, again, CBS. She got her own network now. So she's going from that to now she has her own network.
See, now we're gonna have to talk about Oprah. But anyway, go ahead.
So I just look at it like, listen, you know, that just goes back to what we said. You know, if you're listening to Fox News and everything that they're saying is correct to you, that's a problem. If you're watching only ABC, who is dominant right now in the news cycles, they're the number one media giant right now, right? And you're looking at them and everything is right, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going on social media, which we said is a great alternative for news, but you believe that all of the news that you're seeing on social media is right, that's a problem. The problem is within us. We have to, I'm gonna go back to that word, read and comprehend those words. Because again, if you're reading something and you're like, yeah, man, you know, that I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Then you're questioning it, which is good. I'm not saying question every little thing, but again, when you feel like someone is lying to you, you're gonna question it, right? Right. And to go back to one thing that you said about the January 6th thing, we're still hearing about that, right? We're still hearing about that trial, the people going to jail, all of that. And one thing, when it happened, my mother, like, I go back to my mother. My mother was, they got to go to jail. You know, like it. And one thing that she said is very, very true. If it was a whole bunch of Black people going to that Capitol, storming the Capitol, looking for one of the speakers or whatever, right? Man,
there would be dead bodies all over the Capitol
body
steps.
after dead
body after
you hear
dead
me?
body.
Dead body. And when she said that, I said, yeah. I mean, it didn't take me 10 seconds to say yeah, because again, it's true. So again, that colorism thing, you gotta understand if and this goes back to one of the topics, if a black person gets arrested, he's gonna get his brains blown in. But if a white person get arrested, oh man, sir, you want something to drink? You know, hey, can I get you some water? You know, so again, man,
Okay,
it's so much.
you brought up a question for me, because why do you think the United States, and I'm talking about white America, the government, white America, is able to see racism in other countries, but they just can't seem to see it here at home?
Wow. Um. Why is it that they're able to see racism in other countries, but not here?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you one reason why I believe it, because it's more lucrative. There's way more money involved. You know, over here it's like you'll judge outside of your home, but if your home is dirty, you're gonna be like, oh well, I live in it every day. So it's not really an issue to me. You know, I just think that the US, the government, whoever's in charge here, they love to stick their nose in other people's business, but when it's at the home front, nah, we can't do that. You know, we can't because that's too much. You know, and I just feel like a straight answer is it's more lucrative to me. It's way
I mean,
more lucrative.
okay. When you say that, are you talking about money?
Yeah, because again, these problems, everything is not just a straight problem. You know, there has to be something behind it. You know, you go to court, it's commercial. You get a charge, it's commercial, right? These people, the soldiers overseas aren't fighting for nothing. They're fighting for resources. They're fighting for money. You know what I'm saying? They're not fighting to fix a problem per se. So that's
Okay,
why.
but you don't. But here at home, I look at it as they don't want to admit it here at home because it's the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It's it's the fact that they have to admit that there's a problem which they refuse to do. I mean, watching Biden, on the watching Biden, just saying,
can't even get it out.
and
It's so funny.
we have to, stand with Israel, and we have to do this, and and this and this and this and this. It's like, seriously. Yeah. I mean, why don't you sit up here and talk about the reparations that Black people should have, the slaves, the descendants of slaves, and you don't want to give up 85 billion to us, but you'll give it up to the Ukraine, whatever, and then we'll send over troops. I don't want to fight your war. I don't want to go. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to die for Israel. I'm not willing to die for the Ukraine. I'm not willing to die for Taiwan, Russia, and anybody else. I'm not willing to die for the U.S. And that may piss some people off because
most definitely.
Now people are going to say that, well, you're not a patriot. Well, nowadays a patriot usually has a signal of a Nazi. Whatever. No, I'm not a patriot. I'm not a white nationalist. No, I don't, I'm not a Klan member. I can support my country, but I'm not going to, but why should I go over there? And as the Black soldiers who fought in World War I, especially World War II, they went over there and fought, saved a lot of white ass, and came over here and still got shit on.
Oh man! Wow.
They went to Vietnam. The Black soldiers went over there, fought, died, got shit on, came over here and got shit on some more.
Right.
And guess what? 2023, our Black people are still getting shit on. So you tell me why I should go over and support a country like Israel that shits on people that look like me.
I'm not going to tell you to do that because I'm not going to do that. But again, for the people that says, well, we have to support, we have to do this. Hey, listen, I can support with my hands off. I don't have to be we don't have to be hands on with everything. We don't have to be in everybody's business.
Absolutely.
And that's if we're gonna on this topic, if there's one label that I could put on this, is that we don't have to support every little thing. Okay. I guarantee you the people that's talking about, oh yeah, well, support for Palestine and support for Ukraine. Do you support your tax dollars going over there? No. But you'll still scream and holler and shout about how we should go over there and we should help fight. No, we shouldn't, because it's not our problem. It's not our issue.
So okay, so what about what Smack Pop's World just said? America is supposed to be the land of the free. Pointing out racism and unfair treatment here at home paints a different picture. We have to look strong and united even when we aren't.
Again, I couldn't agree more. It's about with this country, like he just said, like Smack Pops just said, paints a picture. Okay, everything is a picture. Everything isn't, video, or everything it's how the country should look. Mm-hmm. Now you'll have certain immigrants that are fighting to come over here, right? They're fighting, and I may get a lot for this one, but I don't care. Okay, you might have people that are fighting to come over there. They're bringing their stuff, they're bringing their children, but then you'll have also immigrants that are already here. They have their paperwork, but then they talk about how bad it is. They talk about, oh man, this is one of the worst places in the world, but you're here and some people aren't. You know what I'm saying? So I hate that. Oh, go back to where you came from. I got told that by a white guy one time. Go back to where you came from. I said, okay, I'll get the first flight to North Carolina that I can. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe right, because even from what I'm saying now, and I had said something like this on one of my TikToks. I can't remember. And someone says, well, then why don't you go back to where you came from? Well, first of all, I came from Chicago.
Right.
Okay. And number two, if you want to talk about my ancestors and stuff that you brought over here when we were worth money and you can get money off of us, and all of a sudden now you can't get money off of us anymore. Now y'all need to go back to where you came from. So no, don't pull that bullshit on me, because if anybody deserves to be in this country, it is Black folks.
Right.
So but right. And then and what Smack Pop says is we have to look strong. Yeah, we may have to look strong, but I'm sorry. There's just so many things here that we need to take care of first before we start going overseas. And like I said, with these migrants and immigrants and everybody else that are coming over here, it's like we're welcoming these people with open arms. Oh, sure, come on over here, whatever. Meanwhile, and we're putting them up in hotels. Meanwhile, this homeless man who has been sitting on this corner trying to just get a piece of meat to eat.
He's and people are stepping over here with garbage cans for dinner,
right? Whatever. And and the cops are hassling him, but you're not hassling those migrants that are living rent free in a hotel, being able to shower every single day. I'm sorry for that. No. Mm-mm.
And since we're on this, right? Talking about taking care of things at home, let's talk about that. Didn't we have wildfires in Maui not too long ago, right? I don't know if they're still happening. Haven't really heard anything new. Do you know who was asking you for money? Do you know who was asking you to help pay for that? Oh yeah. Do you know? I smell what he's cooking, but it's a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Oprah fucking Winfrey are asking you, little people, you to help pay for that.
Well, didn't they both get pretty? They got kind of dragged for that.
Oh no, and they're getting dragged right now. Well, the dragging continues that's like, no. I'm saying because again, it's stuff like that. Now, again, stuff like that happens on U.S. soil, but then the bigger people, they're gonna want to ask you for money. Again, the stuff happens overseas, and they're gonna want to ask you for money. Where is all of these billions and trillions coming from?
Yeah.
Where are they coming from? They're coming straight out of our pockets, and we all know it. But we're gonna sit here, we're gonna stand for the flag, and we're gonna support America and all of this. Listen, it's been like this for again, before I've been here, before you've been here, before my mother was here, my grandmother. It goes back, and it's just like it hasn't changed. Sure, the scenery may look different, but there's nothing different about it. So I just feel like stuff like that, yeah, they did get dragged, and I'm not gonna harp on the topic too much more. It's just that's a perfect example of something that happens on the home front, and again, they're asking for your money. They're asking you to do when they can. Again, she has acres on acres of land in there. You know what I'm saying? People have been displaced. They're going to Nebraska. They're going here. They're going there. But they can't stay home. Why? Because Oprah lives there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I can't, you know, again, I'm always going to hark back to my mother's words, free Palestine. And I laugh because it's like, she was saying this way before. And again, now that it's actually happening, it's like, you know, how do you react to it? Again, I'm gonna react the same way I did when the war in Ukraine broke out. The Ukrainians, for whatever they want to talk, they don't like us too much. You know, they don't like us too much. No. But we're supposed to support them. Palestine, right. I don't know if they like or dislike us, but there are people that look like you, that look like me. Again, so I just think that when stuff like this comes up, you got to keep living your life. You got to, if you're going to support, hey, by all means, support. You're going to watch Fox News and listen to their jargon and their nonsense, hey, by all means. But don't get mad at us when we say, oh, we're not going to do this and we're not going to do that, because we have every right to do that. Every right, period.
So you had to bring up Oprah. All right. Coming from Chicago, and I remember when Oprah first started on TV on ABC, and she went through a transformation. But the thing that bugged me with her, and I'm still critical to her to this day. I've never met her, never had a conversation with her. But I have my opinion of it. Just like other people may have their opinion of me. Sure. When she got her own studio and it was really, you know, Oprah, the Oprah show and blah, 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 blah. If you notice, most of her audience was white.
Of course.
And she went to the northern suburbs of Chicago, and she got, the tickets went to white people mostly. And she got, you know, a lot of Black people in the inner city, in the city of Chicago, were, you know, pissed off at her, like, well, you know, we've been asking for tickets for this and this, and we can't get them, but yet is always going, you know, this. Mm-hmm. When she started OWN, just like when Fox started with, what was it? I used to watch the show all the time. It's on the tip of my tongue. Queen Latifah.
This is before my time. I should know this. This is probably before my time. So.
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, but I'm having to look this up really quick. But when OWN started, all of a sudden she needed the Black people, because she wasn't getting white shows on OWN. She needed the Black shows, right? And it struggled, and OWN still is, right? And she needs those. All of a sudden, it's like now you run it back to the sisters and the brothers, which you dissed on your show for 20 years. Yeah. You know, I have a problem with that. You know, so I just look at Oprah, and I don't know what to think of her. And if you're so concerned about Maui, and the same thing with Dwayne Johnson, you also so concerned about dipping to some of those millions, and you pay for this, because you asking me and this person, we trying to pay tuition for college, we trying to put gas in the car, we trying to put ramen noodles, whatever. So
and my opinion with Oprah is this: she's just another billionaire to me. You know what I'm saying? You talk about reaching to the millions. I think Oprah got billions. So I always looked at her as, again, you're just another millionaire. She claims that she cares about black people, and the only black person that I've seen her care about is Gayle King. Okay, because they're butt buddies. We all know it. It's all true. Okay, so my thing is with Oprah, and that's why I had to bring that up, because again, you like you just said, if you watch the Oprah whatever it's called, the Oprah Winfrey Show, or go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It was Martin that was on Fox. It was Rock that was on Fox. It was the Bernie Mac show.
Yeah.
Living single. Single.
We are living.
Okay, and
single.
Living Single, which was Friends, was based on Living Single. Friends was based on Living Single, and don't forget In Living Color.
Right.
Those shows made Fox, those shows made Fox a network. As soon as they became a network, they dropped them, went to all the white shows. Mm-hmm. And that's what I see Oprah doing, or that's what Oprah did.
And guess what? Fox tried to dip back into that the black people with Empire more recently.
Yes.
So I think that when you say that now she needs the sisters and the black people, again, it's because black people that look like you, people that look like me, we set the style. Mm-hmm. You go anywhere in another country, they dress like us. Okay. You go anywhere in another stratosphere, they're listening to the music, okay? Whether they say it's bad.
But Monday Night Mars, I did say that black people were the creators of cool.
Yeah. The rhythm and the flavor came from here, okay? It came from us. And again, it's stuff like that it pisses me off, because it's like, oh, well, your music is so bad. Well, I heard you bumping that Tupac, okay? So if the music is so bad, why you listen to it? Oh, y'all dress like this, dress like that. Again, I see you wearing Air Jordans. Air Jordans was made from a black man. You know what I'm saying? So
and y'all eating potato chips, which was created by a black man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, like, everything that we've touched, everything that we used in our lifetimes was created by Jack Daniel's whiskey. Jack Daniel's whiskey was invented by a black man. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, it's just, to me, I look at that as just another war on black people. It's like this is not our rest, people. All right. We're not supposed to be comfortable right now. We're not supposed to be living lavish unless you're kissing that butt, okay? You're not supposed to be living lavish. We're supposed to be struggling. This is not our rest. And for people to sit here and be like, well, I deserve this and I deserve that. You do. But it's some people out here that don't. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that's out here robbing, stealing, killing, okay? They're making a fool of the black man, the black woman, okay? And don't even get me started on the new people that's making fools and asses of themselves. Okay, it's just what it is. At the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. My mother had the nerve to tell me one time that, oh, well, you've never experienced racism, so you don't know. I looked at her like, what? Are you sure about that? The college that I went to is one of the most diverse schools in the nation. You know what I'm saying? And again, I feel where Smack Pops is going with this. You look at every other nation. You look at white people, they stick together. You look at the Spanish people, they're living in a house together. They all drive in that small van to work together. Okay? You look at the other colors of people, let's just say Africans, Haitians. Again, they come over here. They don't like you. They look at you like you're not one of us. You know what I'm saying? But then when it comes to black people, oh man, well, he's an op, or he's this, or he's that. It blows my mind.
So Smack Pop's World says the problem with black folks is we are so focused on tearing each other down while white folks stay silent about their kind and continue to help their community. Sadly, we are our own enemies. Okay, so
Find the lie in that. Find the lie in that.
I want to dissect that a bit, because I think there's truth to it, and I think that there's not truth to it, because Black people have proven, even though it was back in the turn of the century, whatever, in the 1900s, right after slavery, Black people, we had hundreds of Black Wall Streets.
Yeah.
And I think that one thing that tore us apart was we should have stayed segregated. I think had we stayed segregated, then we would be better off. Now, I think we are our own enemies, but Smack Pops, I think that a lot of that has to do with the way everything that's happening is all by design.
Yeah.
And it worked. When they went in and tore down the Wall Streets and basically said, if you want a job, you have to do this. If you want a job, you have to do this. That was the time that we should have rebelled and fought back. When they were bombing Tulsa, we should have been bombing them. While they were shooting us during Tulsa, we should have been shooting them back. While they were doing all this violence to us, I'm sorry, we should have been doing violence to them back. And I don't want to hear, I've had white people tell me, well, 2 wrongs don't make it right, but you keep doing the same wrong over and over and over and over. And we have allowed it. I think that's what our problem is that we have allowed it to the point of that we're at this point now where we are tearing ourselves down. You want to talk about Black on Black crime? Black on Black crime is no worse than white on white crime, Chinese crime, or whatever. It's just the fact that the media makes it a talking point and everyone else makes it a talking point. So therefore, oh my God, Black people are killing themselves. You go to Chicago, the majority of the killings that are going on in that city are from 2 main neighborhoods, 2 main areas. And Chicago is a big city. Chicago is also a very segregated city.
Sure.
So when you look on, so when people talk about Black on Black crime and we're tearing ourselves down, we have fallen into the trap that the white man designed for us. This is all by design, and not just for Black people, for the indigenous people. Why are Native Americans still living on reservations? Why are a lot of them still having alcohol? I mean, just that is a problem. Why? Because alcohol, they are able to go and is freely given to them.
Yeah.
It's all by design. So yeah, I see it's not the problem that we're so focused on tearing each other down. It's the fact that we need to focus on tearing them down. Every time they want to tear us down, we need to fight back. And as much as people say that, you know, a certain group of people, the white nationalists, want a race war, I think a race war is coming, but I think there's going to be a lot of surprises in that war. I think the people who want it, the white nationalists, the people who truly, you know, think that, oh yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. I think they're going to be surprised at the outcome, because people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And Alabama with that chair, you know, it's like, and everybody, I mean, people are just fed up. And it's showing more and more that every time a white woman or a white Karen wants to slap a Black man, it's no longer, I'm not going to hit a woman. It's like, I'm going to knock the shit out of you because you crossed the line. And these lines are going to continue getting crossed. So it's not that we're tearing each other down. We need to look at the problem. It's not us. It's them.
You gave me a lot.
That's the way I see it. So
you gave me a lot there.
You know, so I mean, so Monday, I mean, I want you to respond to that, and Smack Pops, if you can respond, I mean.
Oh, with pleasure. I'm gonna take it back a little bit because you gave me a lot to work with, so I'm gonna work.
I know.
No, I'm gonna work. Trust. Listen. You know, when I was in school, there was one name above all of the activists and whatever, there's one name that you heard the most about. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And what did he preach? Non-violence. Okay? I'm going to take you back. I don't know if you've ever saw The Butler, but there is one powerful scene in that movie. And every time I watch it, I cry. Because I felt like I would have been those people not fighting back. And it was when they were doing the sit-in, and the white people came in there. They're spitting on these people. They threw hot coffee in their face.
Burning cigarettes on them.
Beating the daylights out of them. And what freaked me out was they practiced this. They had practiced this. They practiced this. They had the white dude that was a part of their group called them the N-word. He said, I don't want to do it. He said, you have to do it. Do it. They did it. So with the non-violence thing, I'm just say this. I've always been a Malcolm X kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? I love Malcolm X. Okay? He's great. And what he started to put in minds was that, hey, you know, if they slap you, punch them. If they want to shoot you, shoot them back. You know what I'm saying? I blame a lot of that on, I'm not going to blame it necessarily on the civil rights movement. But again, the civil rights movement taught black people, hey, don't fight back. You know, if that dog is chasing you, just keep running. You know, don't hurt the dog, you know? So I blame, again, the problem, and that's why I'm glad that you use Chicago as an example. I listen to a lot of Chicago rappers, okay? And one of the main ones that I listen to, one of my favorite artists is G Herbo. And he in all of his music, he talks about all of the friends that he lost. And you know what's so shocking about that is that what is the number one city in America, the number one city with the most crime? It's not Chicago.
No, it isn't.
It's not Chicago. It's St. Louis, Missouri. Okay? Yeah. So my thing is, you know, all of that Chicago talk, I don't want to hear none of that because, again, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, okay? There were people getting killed there, okay? What's next to East Orange, New Jersey? North New Jersey, okay? There are people getting killed there, okay? And that's my side of it. You know what I'm saying? I just look at it like...
But that's when the media comes in and makes it like Chicago's this war zone and whatever, and it isn't.
And listen, I listen to the artists, and they may say it's a war zone, but again, it's not. It can't be that bad. It can't be as bad. I'm not saying that it's not bad, but I'm saying it can't be as bad as the media, which ties back to what we started talking about. The media, the media is whatever they put out is law. You know, now we have a right to press. It's in the Constitution. We need the media. But when the media is lying to you, you know what I'm saying? You're going to take that and say, yeah, you know what? Chicago is one of the worst cities in America. Yeah, I don't want to go to Chicago because I'm afraid I'm going to get shot. And it's not that. You should be afraid to go to St. Louis, Missouri, because you're more likely to get killed there. So Smack Pops is giving us a lot here.
He is. He says 100% agree, but we have been structured to believe in the American dream, which is climbing the white ladder to success. We would rather build white success versus creating our own lane. Race war won't
change the fact. Yeah, he changed the fact that we look at black businesses /success as less than white. We lack support for our own while uplifting the white. We fight each other. We fight each other's success more than we fight the success of whites.
Hey. But what he also said in the first part is he basically said we have been structured to believe in the American dream. So once again, it's like we need to get out of our own heads, and we can't. I truly believe that we can get back to Black Wall Street. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Listen, and I'm gonna take it there. When let's just say a person of color wanted to start their own business, right? They want to do hair, they want to make their own products, they want to do whatever, right? What is somebody going to tell them? Oh no, you have to get a real job, right? They're going to tell you have to get a real job. You gotta move up and be a general manager and a vice president of a company that you don't own, right? But that's what we are made to believe success is. Me personally, this is why I look at you in high regard, because you're doing exactly what I want to do. I wish that I can quit my job and start my own podcast. Literally, I want to write books. I want to do my own thing. But in my mind, I know that if I don't go to this 9 to 5, I'm not going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? I know that if I don't go to this 9 to 5, bills aren't going to be paid. Food isn't going to be
but that's when you use that 9 to 5 to do what you need to do while you're doing everything else. And then when you know, and then when that starts doing whatever, then you go. I mean, because believe me, this is not my only gig here. Like I said, I have my own business. You know, whatever, but
in that same regard, you're taking the steps to not work for somebody anymore.
Well, true, but again, you will get there, but don't not write your own books. Don't not do whatever.
That's fair.
You know,
I just think that again, we're so conditioned to believe that, like the white ladder to success. I love that because that's literally what it is. Like I work at a resort, okay? And they told me that corporate was going to be there. Ask me how many black faces I saw in this corporate team. Not one. Not one. And they all walk past me. They say, "Hey, good morning. How you doing?" And I just look and I just laugh because I said, "Look," in my head I said, "Not one black person in sight." So for me to sit here and be like, "Yo, you know what? I would love to move up in this corporate ladder. I would love to." I just realized that people that look like me, they're not going to again unless you kissing that butt like a lot of black people are. Okay. And that's a problem. We got to talk about that.
But do black people kiss butt? Because it's like, if you don't,
then you're not accepted. You need that. They need that hug. They need that.
But is it acceptance or is it? I need the paycheck.
It's acceptance.
Right
Come
now.
on. It's acceptance.
No, I'm playing both sides here. So.
No, I'm saying I get you, but I'm saying again, even the black people that are in supervisor positions at my job, and you can take it to again. I used to work at FedEx. I look at all of the corporate UPS. Again, these are corporate jobs, but you still have black people. Anytime they see one of their bosses, they're like, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to step on his toes," and that's an issue. I get that. I get that you want to move up. I get that you want to be looked at or whatever. But come on now, don't change who you are. Don't forget who you are, because at the end of the day, your skin is just as brown as mine, and they're still gonna hate you.
Okay, so let me ask this, because there is I want to do a show on this with Dread. When you say that acceptance, let's go to the Uncle Tom, which I cannot stand because that's wrong. Uncle Tom has been vilified among Black people, because what Uncle Tom was actually doing was, the real story behind Uncle Tom, the real Uncle Tom, is that he was taking a lot of the brunt. If someone was trying to do something and they were doing it wrong, whatever, he took the blame. He was the one who was actually protecting slaves. What people need to do, instead of saying Uncle Tom, they need to start saying Stephen. I'm talking about Samuel Jackson's character from
Django.
because that is what I say. I say Stephen. So when you look at something like that, when you look at, you want to say your Uncle Tom's or whatever.
Let's call him Stevens. I like that. Let's call him Stevens.
Okay.
Okay.
So you go to slavery times. You go to pre-civil rights, where you go to the Emmett Tills and whatever.
Yeah.
Is it that it's acceptance, or I'm just trying to survive? I'm just trying to make it home just one more day alive.
Listen, I'm somebody who, and I don't want to get into, who I believe in the Most High. Some people call him God, Allah. I believe in the Most High. So I believe that everybody has a time. Everybody's going to die. Now, I'm sorry to be grim, y'all, but everybody's going to die. Everybody's not long for the world. It's just the way life works.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're a believer in whatever, you know what I'm saying, that and I can't speak for the predecessors that came before me, because again, their situations were way worse than what we're going through right now, way worse. So it's easy for me to sit here and be like, yeah, well, if I die, I know where I don't know, any of that. But at the end of the day, if you stand for something, you'll fall. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? So you can't.
But again, I'm asking the question: were they just trying to survive, or did they want to be?
I would say that they were trying to survive.
Okay,
if you're asking a direct question.
Okay,
but
so
are we still trying to survive now?
I was about to say that. So fast forward to your supervisor at work, or whomever. Again, is it a survival thing, just a different type, because we're in a different world now? Our world, we're not master slaves, so to speak, but we're still master slaves.
It's more mental slavery than actual slavery.
Okay, so again, is it I'm playing by both sides here. Again, is it that there's that survival thing? I still want to. I may not have to worry about so much as making it home where I'm alive, whatever. But am I? I'm still looking for. Just want to keep that job. Hey, Black Cabinet, welcome.
If it was about survival, then those people in those positions, they would do at least anything in their power to try to look out for you. I'm not saying that they I'm not saying that they should, help you get a promotion or anything like that. But it's funny because, again, those people that are in those higher positions, they're not looking out for their own. I mean, let's call it what it is. They're not. I mean, and again, I'm not going to speak for myself, because I could be here all day saying, hey, well, I know they're not, and I know they're not. But someone else in a different position, they don't know if someone is talking about them in a good way behind their back, or in a bad way. They don't know if they're advocating for them behind the scenes. So I really can't say. All I can really say is that, me personally, I don't believe that it's about survival. I don't.
Okay. Right.
Like I said, I believe that it's a white man, give me a hug. I want to be just like you. I want you to see me on the same level that you are. That's what it is. And you got to look at all of the entertainers in the world. Come on now, every entertainer that they haven't gotten there through their hard work and preservation and perseveration. They haven't, and we got to stop. We can't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's grinding and doing their thing, everybody who's making music or making movies or whatever the case, they're in a wealthy position. Right? They didn't make it because they had the backing of a black person. I mean, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Black people in a whole, women and men, are at the bottom of the totem pole in this society. I mean, it's the truth. Once upon a time, we were on top of the world. We were the rulers of the world. And that's for all of the people that don't believe that. Yeah, it's true. Black people ruled the world at one point in time. So again, and I want to go back to something you said about the reparations. Again, who owns the banks? I'm not going to say the name, because we know who owns the banks. It's the same group of people that own apartments in the hood. It's the same people that they're running the society. So the reason that they can reimburse themselves from the H word, I'm trying to keep it as I'm trying to keep it as clean as I can, but the reason that they can reimburse themselves from the H word is because they're paying themselves. Black people aren't paying themselves. And if we look to Joe Biden, who told you once upon a time, if you ain't vote for him, you ain't black, right? For reparations, I'm telling you, you'll be dead by the time you get those reparations. I promise you that. I promise you that. I'll bet the house on it. You'll be dead before you ever see $1 of them reparations. Guaranteed.
I want to read what Sabrina says. She's about 10 minutes behind watching. Thank you for watching, as always, Sabrina. Anytime there is an attempt to dehumanize people, it's really it is really everyone's responsibility to honestly decide our capability in trying to stop and prevent it. And then I asked Black Cabinet said open air slaves. I asked him to define it, and he said
Slaves that
that are not in confinement. So
I mean, it's more again.
that's interesting.
Yeah, because again, it's not you. I would argue that you don't have to be a slave. You don't have to be in physical slavery to be in slavery. And like I
Correct.
said, that's why I tried to say like, hey, this the slavery today is mental. It's all mental. Hey, you're because of the color of your skin, you're never gonna be higher than this, or it's all things that you're being told. It's all things that, like you said, like Smack Pop said earlier, it's the American. We've been so structured to believe in the American dream. Nobody can really define that. The American dream is what? Getting rich, white picket fence, car, wife, kids. I mean, come on now. That's unattainable these days. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's unattainable because again, people are not going to be able to buy houses in this market. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? It's just more of those mental push-ups that we got to do. Again, we talk about how we're keeping each other down. Hey, I support your podcast. You know what I'm saying? I support the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? So it is more of a hey, I believe black people should have their own police force. I believe they should have their own schools. Like you said, the segregation. I mean, again, if we got back to that, the problems wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Because there would be a lot of that infighting, but that's stuff that we can handle. You know what I'm saying?
There is infighting going on amongst every group. So
yeah. I agree
let's
with
see.
Black Cabinet though. Yeah, I mean,
Let's see. What did he say? I think Palestine in 15, 20 years will receive reparation for what's happening to them, and we as black people will still not receive redress. Absolutely. I mean, and we were talking about that was what we led off with this show was Israel and Palestine.
Hey, it's the biggest news right now, so why not? Current events. That's the biggest current event right now.
I think it's a bunch of crap that the Israelis. I'm not going to show them what finger, but I again just kissing Israeli butt, and I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. But you are right. The reparations, and they may come sooner than 15 or 20 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were paying. If the U.S. were paying some of that.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I just
And look, Black Cabinet. I feel like Black Cabinet is speaking through the spirit of my mother because again, my mother she has been screaming that, and she's really been passionate about this. So, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I agree. I don't agree with any kind of war. Period. I don't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can really do to help. They're already going to take my money. So, I mean, there's nothing that I can really do.
I just can't go see fighting for a country that doesn't want me. No matter what war you're in, we are not wanted. Dark-skinned people are not wanted. And as my friend said, that Palestinians are the niggers of the Middle East. That's
a harsh way to look at it, but guess what? If it was wrong, I would argue on it. I can't argue with that.
I mean, seriously. And then you look at when you go to places like India that has the caste system. Again, who are the people that are being stepped on? The darker ones. It's always dark is always bad, but y'all steal everything from dark people.
And that's why I like when we use like black people, I struggle to use that. I really do. I really do.
Black Cabinet.
I really do because again, I wasn't around 50 years ago, of course. I wasn't around 60 years ago. But what was the colloquialism that was used then? Colored.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not black. You're not black to me. You're a brown skin. Your skin is brown, but we're still going to use black and or African American because that's the corporate designation. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
African American, I say that. I identify with that sometimes. Sometimes I say black, sometimes African American, but the person who came up with African American was Jesse Jackson back in 1987, 88.
Well,
So, you know, he was the one that came up with it. And when he came up with it, he was dragged by the white media.
yeah.
You know, it's like nothing makes y'all happy. If we Negroes, if we black, if we niggas, if we, I mean, nothing if we're colored, you know, we were colored at one point.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, nothing makes y'all happy. The only thing that made y'all happy was when we were in chains and y'all were able to make money off of us legally.
And that's why, you know, people say like if you go to jail, that's another form of slavery. It is. But at the end of the day, the things that you do to go there can be, you know, you don't have to shoot somebody to go there. You know what I'm saying? You can be free and go there. You know, so when we look at it, that will be, you know, a movie like Shawshank Redemption. Again, in the 1950s, Morgan Freeman was the only black person that I saw in that movie. Now, when you look at movies, you fast forward from Shawshank Redemption to Life, right? You see the difference. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, if the brothers and sisters, if y'all can stop going there, you know what I'm saying, you would help out a lot. You know, you would help out a lot because you're made to be in there, but you're not supposed to be in there. Right. They want you there, but you're not supposed to be there. So that goes back to, again, the violence. You know, I don't condone it. Hey, you know, I love Malcolm X, but I feel like I have the spirit of a Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. I will agree with one thing that you said. If a Karen come up to me, listen, I don't hit women. I don't condone hitting women. But a Karen she better not put her hands on me. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So
I'm gonna read what Sabrina says. I feel like racism, extremism, lack of diversity, etc., continues to be enabled, dominate, etc., that the earth will basically flush us. You know, Sabrina, I have said over and over that whoever you believe God is, he needs to come and just destroy everybody. Put humans at the bottom of the food chain and put animals at the top, because you don't see them fucking. You know, and honestly, and this is one thing I have said. People have heard me say this. Aliens 2, the second Aliens, when they are down to like 4 or 5 people, and Sigourney, and they're having this argument, and Sigourney Weaver says, the aliens, you don't see them fucking each other over for a goddamn percentage. And that is what humans do. We're consistently fucking each other over for a percentage of something. You don't see animals doing that. They may fight to be the leader of their pride or whatever, you know, no. But it's not where they're like, well, I'm just gonna fuck you over, because they don't do that. But that's what humans do. And we have taken a world that was given to us and we've destroyed it.
I was gonna say the word. You might as well say it.
We have destroyed it with hatred, with vitriol. I mean, we have just destroyed it.
And from watching previous videos, that's why I really, the interracial thing, you know, my thing with that is, and I don't mean to go back to old topics or anything, but that ties in here. You know, that's why I feel like as a black man, I've never dated a white woman. You know, I may have dated a Spanish woman or again, black women, but I just, you know, if it was up to me, I would have, I'm going to be married to a black woman one day.
Okay. Period. So let me ask this.
Uh-oh.
Since you said that you would, you never dated a white woman.
Never.
Going back to one of our shows, could you date someone like Kimberly Michael?
No.
Okay.
Because she's great. I think I loved her points.
But is it because at the end of the day she's white?
Period. I mean, period. I mean, again, as a black man, I feel like I was put here to be with my own.
Okay.
I wasn't put here to. I mean, that's, you know,
okay.
That's what it is. You know, a lot of people may not like that. Hey, I don't care. Okay.
No,
Again,
I mean all right.
as a
And
black man, I feel like that's what all black men, and then
okay,
black men,
I had to ask the question.
and
And Smack Pops World says we still support Gucci. I can't pronounce that word. Is it
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga? Okay, I'm sorry, Tommy Hilfiger. But what's the black prominent designer brand? They still our culture, and we support it. But when we as black folks create, the support doesn't come. Smack Pops.
Okay, shout out to
you
Smack
have
Pops,
no,
man.
you make a very good point, and I'm not trying to promote my own brand here, but I have reached out to certain people here in California, and to support my brand. And one of the first things I say, I don't have $1 million to give you for an endorsement, whatever.
Right.
And they pretty much said, well, we don't have anything to talk about.
Wow.
And it's people these are people who I formally supported. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But I'm like, I'm coming to you honest, whatever. I don't have this, but you are right. We will support the Tommy Hilfigers and stuff, and we'll get on TV and we'll support, all these commercials and whatever. But it's like,
I'll give you another one. Saint Laurent. Okay. Well, all of that designer shit. I can't tell you.
But these same rich people are going out buying all of this stuff. But are you buying my product, or the person next door, or the person who just did this, or the person? Nope, they aren't.
I can't tell you what is right now, and that's bad. But I can tell you what was at one point. FUBU. FUBU was dominated. That was, man. You couldn't stop getting black people to wear FUBU, and it was made by a group of black men. So where are the FUBUs? Where are the FUBUs in the world? I'll tell you. They're the Gucci's, the Balenciagas, the black people. Man, they kill me, man. They'll get a big ton of money. And I was in high school. I'll never forget. I was in high school, and one of the big epidemics, I'm going to call it, was the Gucci belt. Oh man, we got to get a Gucci belt. Oh man, I don't care if it's fake. Well, I do care if it's fake, because people are gonna call me out on it, not me, but this is the person. And I always looked at that. I said, man, my clothes came from Foreman Mills, man. My clothes came from Old Navy. I wasn't wearing all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand it. Tommy Hilfiger, by the way, people. By the way, doesn't like black people. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that is supposed to be a urban myth.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's supposed to be.
I'm saying okay.
That is supposed to be an urban myth, just like Michael Kors is also supposed to be an urban myth. So,
listen, take it with a grain of salt. You ain't hear from me. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. You ain't hear from me, but they don't like y'all. But y'all still gonna buy their products. So this sucks.
We are coming up to the 115 mark.
Gotta go so soon.
We are coming up to the 115 mark, and Monday Night Mars. I knew this was going to be a good conversation.
Man,
I knew we were going to get into the weeds, but I have enjoyed this, and everyone on the panel who took time to come and watch us live. And I have to say this, for everyone who goes back to watch the shows, I do watch the numbers and everything, and you all are really going back to watching the show. So thank you very, very much. But Smack Pops World, thank you for your input. Sabrina, as always, thank you, Black Cabinet. And Alicia, thank you. And I'm still, Alicia sent Dre and I a really nice email that it was just really, really nice. We said we're gonna get into the weeds, and y'all, we're gonna push it. We will not be here next week. So Sabrina, we will not be here next week. I am, since Dred is not able to be here, I'm going to take that time to do some traveling. We will be back on the 28th. Wait, is that the 28th? Make sure I'm looking at my calendar right. Yeah, I still use the calendar. I still use the calendar. Okay. All right. Even though there is a calendar right here on my laptop, and we are going to be doing. I do believe it is. I do believe that we are going to be talking about assisted suicide and suicide in general. So we're going to be talking about that, and then going into November, we are going to start. We're going to talk about monsters, like Bill Cosby,
Oh, those
Wine
guys.
and Weinstein, and
Weinstein.
any other monster. Those are the monsters that we are going to be talking about. But there's some female monsters that are in there too. So, but coming up on the 28th, we are going to be talking about suicide and assisted suicide, because suicide is a topic that people again don't like to talk about, and we push the envelope here, and we do in November we'll have a little fun show. We have our little fun shows too where we can laugh and whatever. Everything's not always so serious.
It's not all grim.
It's always it's not also always so serious, but honestly, thank you, so Sabrina. But seriously, y'all, thank you for giving up your Saturday and Monday Night Mars. Do you have any last words of wisdom?
Oh man. Sorry, dramatic pause. I'm sorry. Again, I'm just, I've been going through a lot lately, but I'm just so glad that I had this chance to just finally break out, finally get on camera and just speak. I just appreciate you for giving me the platform to share my views and share my my controversial views, if you want to call them that. But I'll end it on this. As Black people, we gotta figure it out, guys. We have to figure it out. It's not gonna get better tomorrow. It's not gonna get better 2 weeks from now. But a little birdie told me that it'll all get better. That's all we have to think. So as long as you keep that mindset, just thank you. And I'm going to say this because this is just something I would say. All praises to the Most High. Thank you.
All right. I do want to make one comment to Smack Pops. If you are interested in coming on the show, send us an email at friendlydifferences. Let me put it in here. friendlydifferences@gmail.com. I'm sorry, I'm not the fastest typist.
Good.
Really different. See, I spelled that wrong. DIFFIE. Hold on, y'all.
I'm not gonna call you a bad typer, but if you are, I know Mavis Beacon. I don't know if she's still around, but that's what I use.
I took 3 years. Okay, it's friendly differences. It's friendly differences at gmail.com. I can't get that right. Okay, I think, yeah, okay. So it's friendly differences at gmail.com. And I took 3 years of typing in high school. Her name was, it was a little white lady by the name of Mrs. Lindquist. And she says, one day you're going to need this. I'm like, I'm not going to need typing. And I took 3 years of typing and I didn't do well either year. So, but anyway, absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys back on the 28th of October. And as always, peace. Bye.